Tonight's movie review is for Dracula Untold, starring Luke Evans. A little bit about this movie. Luke Evans plays Vlad the Impaler. It is set in the 1500s, and basically you learn near the beginning of the movie that Vlad, as a child, was taken to be a slave of Turkey. A lot of children were taken, about 1,000 children, to be soldiers, slaves and soldiers for the land of Turkey. And Vlad grew up to be this great warrior. He was Vlad the Impaler. He was notorious for being a killer, and everyone around all of the lands knew who he was. When he grew up, he finally was able to go back to Transylvania, to Castle Dracula, and he was able to be the Prince of Transylvania. And he believed in peace, and they had about a decade worth of peace where everybody was safe, and he got married, and he has a son of his own. Near the beginning of the movie, you find out that relations with Turkey are not good again. There's something going on, and the Turks are coming towards Transylvania. And basically at this Easter festival, I guess once a year, Transylvania offers money to the Turks, and the Turks are there to pick it up. And at that time, they say that the Sultan of Turkey also wants 1,000 boys again. He wants to start this tradition that they used to have. And of course, Vlad and all of the people of Transylvania are very upset. They have enjoyed this period of peace. And Vlad has to make the decision whether he's going to send these boys or not. And it would include his own son. So of course he doesn't want to do that. He doesn't want to make the mistakes of his father, and he decides not to, which kind of wages a huge war against the Turks and the Transylvanians. And he decides he has to do something to be able to protect his town. So he goes to this cave where there's this monster. No one knows what it is, but you know, there's skulls all over the place. It's killed many, many men. And he goes there to basically put himself in front of this monster and implore for help. And it's when he does that that he finds out that the monster is actually a vampire. And the vampire kind of makes an agreement with him. He's going to give him all of his powers, all of his abilities, all of his strength for 3 days so that he's able to fight them. But along with that comes the insatiable thirst for blood. If Vlad takes blood from anybody, he will become a vampire. And this man will be released from this curse. He has been under a curse. He's been a vampire. He'll be released. Vlad will have to take his place. And so basically that's what the movie is about. Is he going to be able to save his country from the Turks? Is he going to be able to save his son, his family, all of the people of Transylvania? And is he going to do it without falling victim to the thirst for blood, without becoming a vampire himself? So that's pretty much what the movie is about. Now getting to the meat of it. As far as the acting, I don't think that Luke did a bad job playing Vlad. Of course, he kind of had the stoic thing down, the typical like, I'm a stoic fighter man. But I thought that he did good. He had some, emotional hills and plateaus, some kind of reach in his performance. Most of the other characters I really thought were very stereotypical and very flat. I really wasn't impressed at all. The story itself, I hadn't heard this interpretation of Dracula before, so that's kind of interesting to me, at least. It's something different. It's a, I guess, origin story, you would say, of Dracula and how he came to be. And it kind of maybe makes you think differently of him, not that he's not necessarily this monster, but he's a human that has these serious decisions and serious sacrifices to make. So that part of it is kind of interesting, but the writing itself of the story is not very good. It's very over the top. It's just trying to be this epic thing that it's just not. As far as the special effects, there were some effects that were neat. Some of the times that he would turn into bats and stuff like that were interesting to see. I did think that the effects got pretty over the top, and the bigger and bigger the effect that they were trying to do, the kind of worse that came across. They probably could have cut back on the scale of the effect and gotten a better effect. Especially some of the effects, like the vampires. I don't know. I didn't like all of the effects with some of those kind of creatures, like the vampire in the cave. That's pretty much what I got. The movie, it's not great at all. It's pretty much a dud. I think they had an interesting idea. The execution wasn't done well. I would give this a D. I wouldn't see it in the theater. Maybe catch it on Netflix or on cable. That's pretty much what this movie is worth. It's not going to satisfy your big October Halloween kind of viewing, and that's all I got. It's a D. Thanks so much for watching. If you're excited about seeing this, or if you're a fan of any of the other Dracula movies, I'd love to know your thoughts and comments below. And again, as always, if you like this, please subscribe to my channel. I'd love for you to be able to see some of the other reviews that I'm doing. And I hope you guys have a great night. Thanks.